There he is right there taking his glasses off, General Russel Honoré, who commanded the troops in the city, I should say, of New Orleans, down in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina, is here now. I call you the voice of reason, but you were telling me something very interesting in the break that I think our viewers should know about. We seem to be, at least wanting to be, or appear to be, more prepared for these natural disasters in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. You hear people coming out, like Governor Chris Christie, last time there was a major storm in the Northeast. Get out now. You're crazy if you don't get out. Paraphrase. Basically, that's what he was saying. Everyone, we seem to be more prepared.
Well, it's all started post 9/11. We see a paradigm shift based on guidance from Congress and two presidents now that have reinforced what we call a national response format, which help the nation prepare and plan for natural disaster and, God forbid, terrorism. So you're seeing all that good government that has been invested in the Department of Homeland Security, in FEMA. FEMA has increased in size since Katrina, giving FEMA the authority to lean forward, to pre-position assets. You know, before Katrina, FEMA had to be requested by the governor, and then a declaration had to be required to start moving stuff. All that changed post-Katrina. The stand-up of Northern Command, which is out in Colorado, their job is to prepare the federal troops in support of the National Guard. A whole paradigm shift in the National Guard. For the first time, we have multiple federal dual-hat commanders have been authorized by the Secretary of Defense before the event, and in each state, when federal troops come in, they will work on the National Guard commander, a dual hat. All this happened post-Katrina to try and make government more effective. Don?
If you were wondering what good could come out of Katrina, that's one thing. That's at least something that we're more prepared so that people don't have to lose their lives, and they can, get where they should be well before the storm makes it short.
And a lot of preparedness have happened. People have understood you've got to use all the assets inside the city, inside the state, turning schools into shelters, turning available buildings into shelter, using local transportation. And you see this thing in action up in New York, where they are using their assets, dual missioning their state and city employees to take care and focus on the people. Because the number one thing politicians will be judged on is that they focus on taking care of the people.
Yeah. You mentioned New York City, but let's talk about New York State. And we read the advisory from The Wire just a moment ago. So the President of the United States declared a state of emergency for New York State before the storm even hit. You said that is a big deal. And the reason I mentioned that thing about, I have a friend in New York who just texted me and said, Don, stop scaring me. I'm watching you. Stop scaring me. In a lighthearted way. I'm not trying to scare you, and I am in a way because I want people to be safe. This is serious.
That's the number one function of government, is to secure the people. People need to understand the purpose as this thing is laid out in the Constitution. And what these local officials are doing, they are being proactive. They're trying to get to the left side of this storm, get people prepared, move people out of vulnerable areas, and prepare local businesses to help them respond. The other thing this president's declaration does, it helps authorize the payment of the National Guard through a concept called Title 32. That in the next 24 hours or so, the Secretary of Defense, along with the White House and people in Congress, they will come up with the money for these National Guard troops that have to be mobilized under what is called Title 32. Then those governors can bring all the National Guard they need in to respond, because they are the first responders behind the fire department and the police.
Yeah. And General Russel Honoré, getting wonky. But we need to be wonky with this information. We need to know the details because it's very important. As you said, we're in a paradigm shift. Much of this is a result of what happened after Hurricane Katrina. And we are safer now. So it's good to know the details of how every different city, state, local, municipality, government, federal gets ready, prepare for these types of disasters.
And the hard part is yet to come. This is the pregame show. The response is going to really be the test of leadership.
Okay. So not trying to scare you guys, but as I've been saying, this is pretty serious stuff.
It is.
We always hear people who say, last time you guys got us all riled up and got us scared, and nothing happened, Don. So why should we? Hey, listen, I always say better safe than sorry.
On any given day, Mother Nature can break anything built by man, so we've got to be ready.
All right, let's move on and talk, because you know we can't go far from politics. Hurricane Sandy forcing presidential campaigns to take some detours, make some detours. Ahead, we're going to look at how the storm could help or hurt the candidates. As we leave you just for a moment here, we're just going to very short break. This is Ocean City, Maryland. Look at that, General. Look at that audience. Imagine that coming your way. And that is not the real big heap of it. This is just the outlying part of it. It's still a couple hundred miles away.